CROTA'S, the new reprise rate in Destiny 2. You may not know it, so I'm here to teach it to you. Opening counter. What you have to do is just pick up the Chalice of Light. You'll be charging up the Chalice of Light meter on the left side of your screen. Once you are fully charged up, you're going to want a teammate to take the Chalice off you by holding Interact, and then you'll get the buff Enlightened. You use the buff Enlightened to dunk or interact into the plate that you're on to start forming the bridge. There'll be a bunch of ads and stuff as well during this, so just kill them. It's not that hard. Once the bridge is built, after 3 dunks, walk across it, go down the middle, and then you'll be at first encounter. The fall after the bridge is pretty lengthy, so have fun falling. At the beginning of first encounter, there will be a Chalice of Light at the beginning. Once you pick this up, it will start the first encounter. During this encounter, you'll be going through a dark maze and will have to light up lanterns that will allow you to survive. Here is a map of the dark path that you have to take and where each lantern is that you have to lighten. To activate a lamp, you must have a Chalice of Light at full and have a teammate take it off of you. You will have the Enlighten buff, which you would use on the lantern to activate it, and it will reset the Engulfed in Darkness timer and decrease your Weight of Darkness debuff. When running through the lanterns, there will be lanterns that will not be activated. To activate it, there will be a podium to dunk the Chalice of Light. This activates those other lanterns, and there's a few of these throughout the path. Towards the end of this encounter, there will be a plate just like the one in opening encounter. You do the same thing by passing the chalice between people and getting enlightened and dunking it into the plate 3 times to activate the bridge. While you are doing this, there will be 2 unstopped ogres, and there will be some knights and a bunch of thrall. Once you complete the bridge, you'll run across it. The bridge will spawn thrall on it, and there are 2 swinging lanterns that will hurt you, so be careful on this. And then once you go across, a door will open, and a big bright light will appear. You want to run into that light, and doing so will end the encounter. Second encounter has a chalice and also 3 plates at the beginning, left, right, and middle. These plates are the same on the other side, but there will be more on that later. So how this counter works, second encounter, you're going to want to have people rotating the chalice so that we can build a bridge to get to the other side. For the right and left plates on the starting side, there will be barriers, and sometimes a sword barrel will spawn on the left and the right. A sword barrel will spawn in the middle on the stairs as well. Killing a sword bearer also is what drops the sword. So what we're trying to do is that we're trying to take a sword to the other side. You have to have Enlightened to hold the sword. One of the 2 ways to cross the bridge, you have to have a sword or the chalice to cross the bridge once it's built. Or because if you try to cross the bridge, you will die. But when you have a sword and you go to the other side, there will be these blue knights that are like gatekeepers. And what you want to do is that you want to kill them, and you can only kill them with the hive sword. And once you kill them, you will dunk over there on the orange podiums. They're like the chalice podiums, but they're orange. Okay, so how this encounter is working, one guy will pick up Chalice. Chalice is depicted as red, and these are the 6 guardians. First guy will pick up Chalice. This guy gets enlightened. This guy has Chalice, gives it to this guy. He is now enlightened and dunks it into the main plate. Once he dunks it into main plate, the bridge will start to form. So this guy does not have enlightened anymore. Now, what you do is that this guy gives enlightened to this one, or this one gives the chalice to that one. Now he's enlightened, so there's now this guy's enlightened, this guy's not enlightened. This one gives the chalice to him, so now these three are enlightened. That guy's enlightened, that guy's enlightened, that guy's not. This one will bring it to this one over here, giving him enlightened, and will stay on this. He will stay on this plate. This guy will bring it over to the other plate, give this guy the chalice, stay on this plate, and then this guy will come back to middle and give the guy who put enlightened into the middle plate. He'll give the chalice back. Now, by the time this happens, these two enlightened players on middle plate will have a sword from the sword bearers. These two will go across and go kill the gatekeepers, while this person, who has the chalice, will cross with them. What they will do is that they will go over, dunk chalice in there, and will help these guys fight whatever's over here along with the gatekeepers. While this guy, who gave the chalice to the guy, has enlightened, all three of these guys will have enlightened. So once these guys all the guys down here have enlightened, and while what they are doing is now waiting for these guys to kill sword bearers, not the sword bearers, gatekeepers. Once that is done and everything is ready, they will kill a gatekeeper. Once you kill a gatekeeper, you dunk the sword into one of these sword slots. The same goes for the second guy. Then one of these guys will activate middle plate, and then middle plate will activate plate left and plate right. And now you can step off of the middle plate down here, and these guys come off. They are all enlightened and are now waiting, they are now waiting for sword bearers. And the bridge is still open because mid plate's up here. They have to staying on middle plate keeps the bridge up, but when you're on middle plate, you have to stay on the left and the right plate, or it will wipe you. These guys are now waiting for sword bearers, and there will be wizards and barriers that will continuously spawn. They will get their sword one by one. So this guy, he gets his sword bearer, gets the sword, he will go across, and he will kill his guy and dunk. And then he can pick up the chalice and now start rotating the buff around, because once everyone is over here, because these guys are still down here, they will get a sword, he will get a sword, one by one. Now they're all over here, and now we are rotating chalice around when everyone's up here. Once everyone is up here, you can step off middle plate, because the bridge is no longer needed. So now everyone is now fighting. There will be ogres that spawn up here. There will be ogres, so ogres will be pink. Ogre here, ogre there, and then there will also be a barrier and another barrier. So, and now, while we're up here messing with the chalice and putting it around, everyone or some people will have enlightened. You don't really need that many people with enlightened, but once you wait a while, ogre spawn, all that type of stuff, and barriers, a bunch of sword bearer gatekeepers will come out, and we have to kill them. I believe there would be enough to. I think there's like 6 or something. There's a bunch of sword bearers come out, and once you kill all of them, you dunk chalice in the thing up here, completing the encounter, and that's how it's done. After a second encounter, there's going to be like a little mini encounter. You pick up the chalice, you get someone enlightened, and they can go through the green wall, and they have to go on the other side and kill the Shrieker, and that brings down the wall. And then you have to do that another time through one more wall, and then you go and dunk it at the end of this little mini encounter. And if you do it fast enough, if you dunk the chalice in the podium fast enough, you will be able to get a secret chest that will. But you have to make sure you dunk it before the door closes at the end. For third encounter, you're gonna want to go up into the middle of the room and kill all these giant knights. There will be two at the start, and then two a little bit more in towards the back of the middle. And then when you go up the stairs, there will be another one on like the bridge area. There will be some that spawn inside the area where you have to go, but you need to kill a little bit more as in the middle if that doesn't spawn. And then once you kill these guys and the knight that spawns like right here, you'll get ads and more knights from the middle. There's a lot of knights in this thing, but you'll get knights coming out of the middle, coming through the green fangs, and you kill those two, and you wait for the Shrieker to spawn. And when you kill the Shrieker, it takes down the green barriers. Once the barrier goes down, there will be a chalice that spawns by the giant crystal in the middle. You will have people designated for the chalice, and you'll be rotating it to get enlightened. There will also be a scouter who is looking for wizards that are in the back left and the back right of the map, and there are also ones in the middle right, and middle left. The ones that are in the back left and back right, there are two floors. There's a top and a bottom. To figure out which one has a wizard, you will see on your mini map if there's a circle with a triangle in it. That is a Shrieker. It's mainly for the ones that have two stories. If it is pointing down, the wizard is on the bottom. If there's one that's pointing up, it is on the top. But if there is two, there is none in that tower area. But if there's one, there is one in there. So if it's like pointing down, Shriekers on the bottom, wizards on top. And that's how it works. So what you do with these wizards is that you wait for a synchronized time where all your teammates who are going to get it, all the first three that are going to kill, you all kill at the same time, and that's the start of damage phase. So it brings down the boss's shield, and then you start doing damage phase on that plate because it's the best spot. Rockets are good, whatever you would like, but rockets are the best. If you do, and you have to get her damage bar for that phase, the white part. If you don't, you wipe. After this, if you don't one phaser, you will need one more person in rotation to look for a wizard. So instead of 3, you need 4. So when you're doing your rotating with the chalice, you need to make sure that you have another person. This is very important because after every phase, there is one wizard added. So you need to go kill the 4 wizards. If you are in damage phase and you do not go get a wizard, but you are enlightened, you can hold interact on the boss and expunge. This does a little bit extra damage. It's very good if you are having a little trouble with, getting enough damage out. But that's how this encounter works. You swap off, you get enlightened buff like you always do in the other encounters, the past 2 encounters. You have someone going out to find where the wizards are, left, right, or top left, bottom left, top right, bottom right, and then middle. And I'll put a thing on the screen right here. You got middle left, middle right. It'll probably help you out a little more trying to figure that out. But you have to go in, kill the wizards at the same time, and you lose Enlighten when you go through the green doors or the barricades. You have to have Enlighten to go through the barricades, like from the little Shrieker event that happened. So you wait, kill them all, damage phase starts, and there you go. For final encounter, to start it, you will need to step on the little circle that is around the crystal. And when you do that, especially for the first time you start the encounter, you get the little animation of Crota's little thing building itself, and then Crota spawns in front of you. While this happens, there will be ads on the left and the right, little rooms that you need to kill. Because if you don't kill them, it doesn't spawn anything, so you need to kill these guys first. Now, there will be a chalice of light that spawns in the bottom middle where you walked up into the room at the start of third encounter. There'll be a chalice there. You'll be rotating chalice, trying to get enlightened so that you can pick up a sword. If you are the last person to get the chalice, you can dunk that back at the podium that was at the top of the stairs, right at the beginning of where you started third encounter, which is the bottom middle of this boss arena. In order to rotate the buff, you have to step in these areas that are glowing in light in order to swap out the chalice. There's 2 top ones and there's 3 down below. So they're like at top left, top right, and all that. So you switch it out, you get enlightened. There's also, in the towers on the left and right, there are boomer knights there that you need to kill. Once you kill those, it will spawn ogres and a sword bearer. You kill the ogres, you kill the sword bearer, you have the sword. Wait a little bit until your guy with enlightened, though, is ready to pick up the sword, but he will go pick up the sword when he's enlightened. And then he will go over to Crota, and he will do damage to Crota to take his shield down. You can do 2 swords, 3 swords. There's a way to do 1, but it's like 2 are probably the best with a tractor cannon. So you do that. You hit him with the sword, do a little combo, heavy, super, whatever your combo you'd like to do. If you only use 1 sword, you have to repeat the process again, kill boomer knights, ogres, then sword bearer, and then while you're also keep swapping out the enlightened buff. For damage, that is good right now. Lament is a really good sword because it does a lot of damage output, and it heals you as well, just in case the well breaks. And Legend of Accuracy, that shotgun is also really good for DPS as well. Now, during damage phase, there's this thing called an oversoul that you will need to shoot when you're getting close to the 10-second mark on the side that says oversoul. You will need to have enlightened buff in order to shoot it, so when you do your rotation, enlightened buff, make sure people or someone has enlightened. It is very important. It's also very important in final encounter because it gives you extra time when you shoot the oversoul. Also, when you are fighting Crota, and you phase him, get away from him because he does a little AOE that pushes you, so you need to get away. And another important thing is that if you're enlightened fighting Crota and you are not on oversoul duty, you can expunge on Crota doing 2% extra damage. And that's how you fight Crota. Also, after you fight Crota and you go to his sword at the end after you kill him, don't forget to pick up the exotic quest for Necrochasm. That is very important that you start on that quest. It's a super long quest that requires a lot of oversoul charges. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this helps you guys out. If you're new and haven't done Crota's Raid or needed a little refresher, I hope this helps you out. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and thank you.